Good day, everybody. I hope that you're well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 1 English lesson on possessive nouns. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English language arts. We're doing grade 1. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of possessive nouns. All right, so our chapter is possessive nouns. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 1. And in the lessons that we are focusing on, under the chapter of possessive nouns, is to select the possessive nouns that matches the picture. So we're going to select the possessive noun that matches the picture. All right. So when it comes to possessive nouns, right? Possessive nouns, it basically shows who owns something or who has something, right? So if let's say the doll belongs to you, then it means that you own that doll or the doll belongs to you, right? So that is a possessive noun. It's something that belongs to you or that you can say that you own, right? And when we look at possessive nouns and how to identify possessive nouns, and then when it comes to possessive nouns also, right? Um, let's say, for example, your name is Anna, right? Or John. And John owns a car, right? So if John owns the car, right? So here's John, and the car belongs to John. So then we can say it is John's, an apostrophe, car. So we basically add an apostrophe as well as an S to the person's name to show that that person owns something or that person has something. If Kim, if Kim has a doll, right? Or the doll belongs to Kim, or Kim is playing with the doll. So now we're asking whose doll is it? Then we can say it is Kim's doll. We're going to add an apostrophe as well as an S. So we're going to add the apostrophe after Kim as well as an S to show that it is Kim's doll. So if something belongs to someone, or someone owns something or has something, and then to show or to make the possessive noun, we add an apostrophe and an S to that person or the animal, place, or thing's name, or to the name, in order to show who owns something or who has something. And if we look at an example, right? Here we have our example, and it says, Matt's bike is red. So now the question is, whose bike is it? So now we know it is Matt's bike, right? So the bike belongs to Matt. So if the bike belongs to Matt, right, and the color of the bike is red, so now they're asking whose bike is that? Then we can say it is Matt's bike, and that bike is red. So Matt's bike is red. And as you can see, we added an apostrophe and an S to the name Matt, because there we have Matt. But if we want to say it is Matt's bike, then we add an apostrophe as well as an S to show that it is Matt's bike. Another one, right? Because remember we said that we add to a person, an animal, place, or thing to show possession. The dog's name is Rex. Whose name is Rex? It is the dog's name. And we added there, it is the dog. His name is Rex. Whose name is Rex? The dog's name is Rex. So once again, possessive nouns, it basically shows position, it shows who owns something, or it shows who has something. That is possessive nouns. Shows who owns something, or it shows who has something. And we need to add an apostrophe as well as an S to the name either of a person, of a thing, or even an animal to show that that person or thing has something or owns something. And we call that possessive nouns. All right, so now we're going to aplusstudents.ca, and we are going to go over more examples of possessive nouns. All right, so we're going to aplusstudents.ca, and we're going to select the possessive noun that matches the picture. So we're going to look at the picture, and then we're going to say which possessive noun matches that picture. All right, so if we look at this picture, right, it says the money is in his hands. Right here we have a man and we have a woman. right? So the man is buying flowers and he's giving the money to the lady. So now they're saying the money is in his hands. So whose money is in his hands? So we need to say whose money is in his hands. All right. So we can then say, because remember the man has the flowers in the hand and he still has the money in his hand. So we can say that the man's money is in his hand. Because remember, his also makes mention of a man or boy. So we're going to say the man's. There's the word man, apostrophe and an S to show man's money is in his hands. Because now, who is he giving the money to? He's giving the money to the lady. And that is our one example. So once again, before we go on to our activities where we are going to select the correct possessive noun to match the pictures, it says once again, an apostrophe, right? Not an apostrophe, sorry, a possessive noun. Because that is the chapter for today, possessive nouns. A possessive noun, it shows who owns something or it shows who has something. So a possessive noun shows who owns something, or a possessive noun shows who has something, right? And in order for you to make a possessive noun, you need to add an apostrophe as well as an S to either the person's name, the animal, the place, or a thing. And that is to basically show possession. And then we made an example. We made a few examples, but just to go over the examples again, we said Matt's bike is red. So Matt's bike is red. And if we look at the word Matt, right? So now the question is whose bike is red? And then we can say it is Matt's bike. So Matt has a bike and his bike is red. So whose bike is red? We can add an apostrophe and an S to his name to show Matt's bike is red. And then the next one says, the dog's name is Rex. So if I have a dog, right? And my dog's name is Rex. So now whose name is Rex? The dog's name is Rex, meaning dogs apostrophe and S for dog's name is Rex. And once again, I made an example that if, let's say, a girl owns a doll, then we can say it is one girl, it belongs to her. But if we want to make mention that it belongs to her, we're going to say it's an apostrophe and S, the girl's doll, the boy's car, right? Whatever to show that it belongs to someone. And that is a possessive noun. It shows who has something or it shows who owns something. All right, so now we're going to look at another example, right, of possessive nouns. We made a first example of the man having the money, right, in his hands. So now we're going to look at more examples that shows our possessive noun. And remember, we need to add an apostrophe as well as an s to show that someone or something owns something or has something. All right. So now we're going to the next one. If we look at this picture, right, it says the truck is new. Who is this? Is that a boy or is that a girl? So now we need to ask ourselves, is that a boy or is that a girl? So if we look at that picture, right, and then we can say that this person that's playing with it is a boy, right? It's a boy playing with the truck. But now they're saying that the boy's truck is new. Whose truck is new? This boy over here. It is his, and his truck is new. So that means the boy's apostrophe and an S truck is new. So remember, if we identify a person, a thing, an animal, right, then we need to add our apostrophe to that word to show that that person either owns something or that person has something or that thing owns something or has something. All right, let's look at another example. So the boy's truck is new. Here we have another example. The cake looks good. Who is holding the cake in his hand? So who's holding the cake in his hand? It says the cake looks good. Whose cake looks good? So we need to say whose cake looks good. And if we look at the person who's holding the cake, right, then we can say that that is a boy. And if that is a boy, then we can say that the boy's cake looks good. So this is a boy and it's his birthday. So we can say the boy, this is a boy, and it's his cake. So we can say it is the boy's apostrophe and an S cake looks good because now it means that the boy, it's his cake. He owns the cake or he has the cake. Remember, we said a possessive noun, it shows either someone or something that has something or someone or something that owns something, right? And we add an apostrophe and an S to that word to show that that person or thing owns something or has something. For example, the boy's cake looks good, right? All right. So now we're going on to our test. We're going to do a few and then we're going to do more activities. All right. We need to look at the picture and then we're going to complete the sentence to match the picture. All right. Here it says the boy is holding his hand. Let's look at the picture. Do we say that the boy is holding his grandma's hand? Or do we say the boy is holding his dad's hand? Whose hand is the boy holding? Is it his grandma's hand? Or can we say it is his dad's hand? Which one is correct? So we need to choose the correct one. Whose hand is the boy holding? Is it option one, his grandma's hand, or option two, his dad's hand? Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct one, then we can say he's holding his dad's hand because we can see that he's a male. It's a man whose hand he's holding. So well done. He's holding his dad's hand. Now let's look at the next one. We need to complete the sentence to match the picture. The cake looks good. If we look at that picture, they say it's the baby's cake or is it the boy's cake? Is this a boy or is he a baby? So it says, do we say it is the baby's cake looks good, option one, or do we say the boy's cake looks good, option two? Which one is correct? So do we say option one, the baby's, sorry, or option two, the boy's cake looks good? Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct option, and then we can say it's option two, the boy's cake looks good because this is a boy. This is not a baby. So option two, the boy's cake looks good. All right, let's look at the next one. We need to complete the sentence to match the picture. So whose dress is pretty? Do we say option one, the girl's dress is pretty? Look at this picture. Or do we say the man's dress is pretty? Look at the picture. Is this a girl who's wearing the dress? Option one, the girl's dress is pretty. Or do we say option two, the man's dress is pretty? Whose dress is pretty? Option one, the girl, or option two, the man? We need to choose the correct one. So is it the girl's option one, or is it the man's option two? And if we were to choose the correct one, then we can say the girl's, because that is a beautiful girl. So we can say the girl's dress is pretty. So option one, the girl's dress is pretty. Girl is correct, the first one. All right, wait, let's look at the next one. It says, do we say, if we look at this picture, and now we look at where the bushes are. Do we say the houses bushes are tall, or the streets bushes are tall? Do we see the street, or do we see the house? So do we say the houses bushes are tall, option one, or the streets bushes are tall, option two? Which one is correct? So option one, the houses bushes are tall, or the streets bushes are tall. Which one is correct? All right, and if we choose the correct one, then yes, we can say it is the houses. But remember, when we write houses, you need to choose that apostrophe and S. But the houses bushes are tall. So well done. Houses is correct. Because we don't see the street. All we see is the house. So the houses bushes are tall. So well done. Option one is correct. Let's look at the next one. It says, whose truck is new? Look at this picture. Whose truck is new? Do we say the boy's truck is new, or the store's truck is new? So option one, the boy's truck is new, or option two, the store's truck is new. Whose truck is new based on the picture? Is it the boys or the stores? So whose truck is new? All right, yes. So we can say it is the boy's truck because he owns the truck, right? Or it belongs to him. Maybe he got it as a gift for his birthday or for Christmas, but the boy's truck is new. So well done. Let's look at the next one. So we now need to say, if we look at the picture, whose cake is brown? Whose cake is brown? Is it option one, the girl's cake is brown? Or do we say option two, the clown's cake is brown? If we look at the picture, is it the girl's cake or the clown's cake? So whose cake is brown? The girl's cake or the clown's cake? All right, then if we choose the correct option, then yes, we can say it is the girl's option one. So well done. The girl's cake is brown. Well done. Girls is correct. All right, let's look at another one. Whose coat is orange? Look at the picture. Who's wearing an orange coat? Do we say the cat, the cat's coat is orange? Or do we say the boy's coat is orange? Whose coat is orange? We need to say whose coat is orange. Is it the cat's or the boy's? Do we say it's the boy's or do we say it is the cat's coat that is orange? All right. And if we choose the correct option, then we can say it is the boy's because the boy has an orange coat on. So the boy's coat is orange. So well done. All right, let's do one more and then we go back to A plus students. It says the dish is in the grass. Whose dish is in the grass? Is this a cat that we see? The cat's dish is in the grass. Or do we say the dog's dish is in the grass? Whose dish is in the grass? The cat's dish or the dog's dish? If we look at that picture. And if we were to choose the correct option, if we look at that picture, then we can say that the dog's dish is in the grass. So the dogs, which is option 2, because we don't see a cat that looks like a dog. So the dog's dish is in the grass. So well done. All right. So in this lesson today, we selected possessive nouns, and we said that a possessive noun, right? A possessive noun, it shows who owns something or who has something, right? And in order for us to make a possessive noun, we need to add the apostrophe to a person, to an animal, a place, or thing that owns something or who has something. And remember, the apostrophe is not a comma, right? It's not the comma that you put over there. It is almost like it comes more to the top of that letter, right? So, for example, if we say Matt, if you say Matt's bike, then remember we put the apostrophe somewhere there on top and then the S. That is for Matt's bike. So we don't add the comma at the bottom, but the apostrophe on top to show who owns something or to show who has something, right? And that is possessive nouns. And like I said earlier on, if you, for example, own something or you have something, then we can maybe then basically means that that is a possessive noun. It belongs to you. You own that thing. So even if we were to say that it is my birthday, right? Then we can say it is the girl's birthday. And we put the apostrophe and the S. If gifts belong to you, right? Then we can say if the gift belongs to James, then we can say it is James's. Okay, not James. I don't want to put James now. Let me choose a different word. Jack. If the gifts belong to Jack, then we can say it is Jack's gifts. So can you see how we added the apostrophe and the s after that word or at the end of that word to basically show who owns something or has something. Jack's. Something belongs to Amy. We can say it's Amy's. Apostrophe and s. Something belongs to the boy, then we can say it is the boys, and we add the s. Something belongs to the man, then we add the apostrophe and s to show that it is the man's coat, it's the man's trousers, it's the man's car, right? Something belongs to the woman, then we add the apostrophe and the s to show that it is the woman's something. something that belongs to the woman, something belongs to the girl, to the boy, to the man, or you can even add names. The dog's bone, apostrophe and S. The cat's wool, right? So that basically shows who owns something, or it shows who has something, and we call that possessive nouns. Shows who owns something, or it shows who has something, and we need to show our apostrophe as well as our s. We need to add that either to the person, to the animal, to the place, or the thing. And that is possessive nouns. It shows who owns something, or it even shows who has something, right? And remember, do not, if you are just going to say that it is the, let me put it here. If you're just going to say it is the girl's bike, right? Then it means that this is going to be wrong because this don't show a possessive noun. This shows plural. It shows there's more than one girl. So you need to add the apostrophe to show who owns something. You need to, once you show that apostrophe, it shows position. It tells us who owns something or has something. But if you are just going to say the boys is something that belongs to the boys without the apostrophe, and then that is going to seem as more than one boy. But we are making mention of one boy who owns something or one boy who has something, right? So keeping in mind that a possessive noun, as much as I've been repeating it now all the time, but a possessive noun, it shows us who owns something or who has something. If you have an Xbox, right, then we can say it is, if you're a girl or if you're a boy, then we can say it is the girl's Xbox, or it is the boy's PS5. So do not forget to add the apostrophe. That is important. The apostrophe is very important. The apostrophe is to show the position. Because once again, if you don't show the apostrophe and you put a comma there, then that is not a possessive noun. It will not show us who owns something, or it will not show who has something. Right? So we add that apostrophe either to an animal, to a place, to a person, or a thing. All right. So this is now the end of our lesson on apostrophe, sorry, possessive nouns. And we had to select the possessive noun that matches the picture, right? And keeping in mind a possessive noun, it shows us who owns something or it shows us who has something, right? And in order for us to make a possessive noun, we need to add an apostrophe and an S to the person, to the animal, to the place or thing. All right, so this is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, grade ones, for joining our class. And I really hope you're going to have a good day further. So, till next time, goodbye.